2 more years for Hunter Henry came from more than trust. They came from a commitment Philadelphia refused to make with Dallas Goedert. And when New England embraces a risk that Howie Roseman chose to limit, every detail deserves a closer look. Patriots Nation, listen closely. There is a behind-the-scenes logic connecting this contract to a rookie's rise, a defense getting its power back, and even a backup quarterback taking command of the offense. Today, we are opening that decision room. If this bolder Patriots team fires you up, subscribe to Patriots Club Fans. Start with the signature that shows the front office's hand. Philadelphia handled Dallas Goedert, also heading into his age 31 season, with maximum caution. The Eagles explored trade possibilities, circled back on a 1-year deal, and still used a second-round pick on Eli Stowers. New England looked at a very similar situation and took a different path with Hunter Henry. The reported contract runs for 2 years, carries a base value of $16 million, and includes $14.5 million guaranteed, according to the initial numbers shared by Adam Schefter. The $4.2 million signing bonus nearly mirrors the $4.25 million in Goedert's deal. The difference is not the starting point, it is the length and the commitment. Henry is now tied to the Patriots through 2028. That is a bigger bet than many people expected for a tight end who turns 32 in December. I will defend the move because the player gave New England real reasons to make it. 768 yards last season, 12.8 yards per catch, and a connection with Drake May that cannot simply be bought on the open market. When Henry calls May "my guy" and a special person, it does not sound like empty praise. That is the day-to-day trust between a quarterback and his target, the kind of shared understanding that shows up when protection breaks down and the ball has to come out before the play develops exactly as drawn. Defending the deal does not mean ignoring the concerns. Mike Vrabel wants more physical violence from this position. That was part of the reason Julian Hill arrived in free agency before a torn ACL ended his season, and it was part of the reason the roster kept searching for bodies that could block around the line of scrimmage. Henry has had a quiet camp while May builds chemistry with A.J. Brown, Romeo Doubs, and the younger players. The Patriots could have waited until 2027, exactly as Roseman preferred to wait with Goedert. They did not. Inside the building, the read appears to be this. New England paid for the complete package: production, leadership, stability for May, a bridge to the next generation. The $14.5 million guaranteed puts real pressure on this choice, no question. It also increases the chances that Henry finishes his career in Foxborough. And that leads directly to the piece that makes this contract look smarter, or even bolder. The next generation is not simply being prepared, it has already started asking for the football. Eli Raridon entered camp as the third-round rookie sitting behind an established veteran, carrying the expectation that he could become a future answer. That future has started moving faster. During Tuesday's practice, Raridon hauled in a touchdown pass from Tommy Devito. With Drake May, he flashed across the field on a crossing route and completed another connection. This is not one isolated highlight getting slowed down and replayed to manufacture excitement. He keeps producing, repeating good work, and giving the offense a presence that is becoming harder to treat like some distant project. But Patriots Nation, this is where things get really interesting. Henry's deal and Raridon's rise are not working against each other. They could create one of the most useful combinations in this entire offense. Henry understands coverages, knows May's timing, and sets the professional standard in that room. Raridon brings size, athleticism, and receiving ability that give Josh McDaniels the freedom to change the geometry of his formations. Put both of them on the field, and the defense has to reveal its intentions. Answer with heavier personnel, and the rookie can attack space. Stay with smaller defenders, and New England gains options to run the ball or work through Henry inside. This is where the contract's behind-the-scenes meaning takes on a different shade. The Patriots did not guarantee Henry that money because they distrust the rookie. They may have done it so Raridon would not have to learn everything at once. Recognizing pressure, adjusting protection, and blocking consistently all take time. Henry lowers that pressure without shrinking the opportunity. And I will tell you something Patriots fans recognize quickly. When a rookie shows up with both the starter and the backup, the signal carries more weight. Devito found Raridon in the end zone. May hit him in motion. The offense is creating different ways to use him. There is still preseason football and real blocking work ahead, but Raridon is already competing for a role. McDaniels now has to determine how much of that talent belongs in the plan immediately. Henry remains the top tight end. The compelling question is how often the Patriots can put both players on the field and force the opponent into the wrong choice. If Raridon stays on this track, the veteran's extension starts to look like the experienced half of a duo that can give May answers in the middle of the field. That offensive build can carry more confidence because Christian Barmore has brought something rare back to the other side of the ball: interior pressure that changes how an entire offense operates. New England's defense ranked among the NFL's best last season, and the partnership between Barmore and Milton Williams was one of the main reasons why. Williams arrived as a major free agent investment in 2025. Barmore carries a different meaning. He was developed at home after the Patriots moved up from pick 46 to pick 38 in the 2021 draft to get him. Now 27 years old, Barmore has recorded 180 tackles, 25 tackles for loss, and 16.5 sacks across 70 regular season and playoff games. He posted his career high in 2023 with 8.5 sacks. Those numbers explain the talent. They do not explain everything behind this comeback. A knee injury disrupted his 2022 season, and blood clots cost him virtually all of 2024. 3 months before that diagnosis, New England had signed him to a 4-year, $84 million extension. Seeing him return to impact form represents relief on a human level and across the structure of this team. For Vrabel, Barmore is not just another powerful defender. He is the piece who caves in the pocket from the middle and keeps the opposing quarterback from stepping up comfortably. When he and Milton Williams win inside, the edge rushers get cleaner angles, the linebackers see fewer blockers, and the secondary does not have to hold coverage forever. That chain reaction gives the coaching staff freedom to attack without putting everything into the blitz. The key now is refusing to treat the return as a finished chapter. His medical history calls for continued monitoring, and the season demands repetition. But Barmore has moved beyond the stage where the conversation is only about getting back on the field. The discussion inside the building should center on maximizing one of the league's best interior tandems again. If the offense is trying to create more answers with Henry and Raridon, the defense already has 2 men capable of wiping out the opponent's answers. That raises the ceiling of the entire team. Then the joint practice against Indianapolis delivered a moment that would usually qualify as a footnote. This one did not. The starting unit turned the ball over. The atmosphere got heavy for a few beats, and Tommy Devito stepped into the 1-minute drill. On his first snap, he launched a bomb of more than 50 yards to Mac Hollins. Touchdown. One play, one immediate response, and the bad taste from the earlier turnover was practically gone from the field. Devito has been stacking solid practices because he is now in year 2 of Josh McDaniels' offense. You can see it in his command, not only in his arm. Knowing the language lets him reach the line without carrying every play call like a test. It lets him identify the favorable matchup and release the ball with conviction. The deep connection with Hollins was the loudest picture of that progress, but his touchdown throw to Raridon ties these stories together too. The backup quarterback is helping reveal weapons while strengthening his own position. Think about it like a war room. A good QB2 is not there to collect safe completions in August. He has to keep the offensive plan alive if Drake May misses a series, a quarter, or a game. That means attacking the same areas of the field, controlling clock situations, and preventing the team's entire identity from shrinking when the starter leaves. Devito still has to prove he can provide that security against real pressure, because strong practices do not erase poor decisions or guarantee calm during the season. But this camp is showing that the system no longer feels foreign to him. There is hidden value here too. When the backup operates with pace, young players receive better reps, second-unit receivers can be evaluated on legitimate plays, and the coaching staff does not have to simplify every period. Raridon gets a touchdown opportunity. Hollins gets to show his vertical ability. The defense faces an offense that continues challenging coverage even after the quarterback changes. The whole roster improves when the second quarterback does not bring practice to a stop. That also puts honest pressure on the internal competition. Every mistake becomes more expensive because the backup offense can respond, and every successful rep gives the coaches reliable information as they build the 53-man roster. I want the Foxborough film room thinking like McDaniels. Which package would you put on the table first after these signals? 2 tight ends with Henry and Raridon, or a vertical shot designed for Hollins? Do not choose the biggest name. Choose the matchup that would make the defense hesitate, because that is Devito's hidden gain in this camp. He is not trying to imitate May. He is showing that he can preserve the offense's options. For a team trying to climb back to the top of the AFC, real depth begins when the plan survives a change at quarterback. Behind these 4 stories, New England is buying continuity without giving up competition. Henry protects the experience. Raridon accelerates tomorrow. Barmore brings violence back to the heart of the defense. Devito keeps the offense from losing its language when May steps out. This is not perfection. It is a roster beginning to build answers in layers. If the temperature just went up where you are, subscribe to Patriots Club Fans and stay with us for the next adjustment. Patriots Nation, tell me what you think. Which internal decision makes the first major impact when the season begins? Expanding Raridon's role, unleashing Barmore on the pocket, or trusting Devito's arm more aggressively?